Meantime, the Justice Department yesterday releasing previously unseen documents from the Epstein files related to a woman who made accusations against President Trump. Now, the documents include news summaries from 2019 when the FBI interviewed a woman who made those allegations against both Epstein and the president. The woman claims she was assaulted by Trump in the 1980s when she was between the ages of 13 and 15. The president has consistently maintained any wrongdoing. It's unclear whether the FBI considered the allegations credible. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment, but has stated in the past that some of the claims in the Epstein files are unfounded and false. Authorities have not accused Trump of any wrongdoing in connection with Epstein.
Hi everyone, Adam is here. There is a narrative spreading across social media right now that needs to be addressed immediately. The videos claim that President Trump has collapsed, that newly exposed, devastating files have brought him down, that these documents contain bombshell revelations that are finally going to end his presidency.
Jeff, these documents are known as 302 files. They're summaries of 3 interviews the FBI conducted with this accuser, in which she alleges that Epstein brought her to meet Trump sometime between when she was age 13 and 15. She details in very graphic terms Trump's alleged sexual assault against her and how she fought back. She also says she had 2 additional interactions with Trump, but before she expanded on that any further, she asked if she could go on to another subject. During the last interview with the accuser, the FBI asked if she would be comfortable sharing more about her contacts with Trump.
The videos make it sound like some massive document dump just happened revealing Trump's crimes and corruption. They show dramatic footage and claim Trump is freaking out, collapsing under the pressure, unable to function. When you actually look at the facts, none of that is happening. Trump has not collapsed. There have been some document releases. Yes, files related to certain investigations were released.
And the full release of the Jeffrey Epstein case files is required by today under a law Congress passed last month. But a top official in the Justice Department said this morning that there will only be a partial release today. Aaron Navarro reports from the White House.
Today is the deadline for the Justice Department to release all its files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. But Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche told Fox News on Friday the Trump administration has a different plan.
I expect that we're going to release more documents over the next couple of weeks. So today, several 100,000, and then over the next couple of weeks, I expect several 100,000 more.
Blanche said the delay is needed to make sure the victim's information is protected. Survivors have been demanding these records for years.
Trump's first-term records became available through public records requests. But those document releases did not contain any bombshell personal criminal revelations that would warrant Trump's arrest or resignation. And Trump has not collapsed. He has been actively working on his agenda, pushing his legislative priorities, managing ongoing military actions, campaigning, making public appearances. He is fully engaged in governing. So the claim that Trump collapsed due to devastating files is completely false. Let me break down what actually happened with these document releases because the reality is very different from what these sensational videos claim. First, there was a release of documents related to a well-known investigation. Congress passed a law requiring the Department of Justice to release documents connected to this case. Trump signed that law. And on a specific date, the DOJ complied by releasing millions of pages of documents and thousands of videos. That is a massive document dump. And yes, Trump's name appears in those files. He is mentioned thousands of times. There are references to him visiting certain properties, flying on a particular plane, and being friendly with the central figure in the past. But here is the key thing. None of that is new information. We already knew Trump and that individual were acquaintances in the 1990s and early 2000s. Trump has admitted that. We already knew Trump distanced himself after that individual's legal troubles became public. What is actually in these files? According to reports, there are certain pages that contain alleged unverified misconduct involving Trump. But these are unverified allegations. They were not proven. And the Attorney General reviewed them and cleared Trump. She said there was no credible evidence of criminal wrongdoing by Trump in these files. So the DOJ released the files as required by law. Investigators and journalists have been going through them, but nothing bombshell has emerged that would warrant Trump's arrest or create new legal jeopardy for him. And shortly after the release, a judge blocked further congressional pushes to get more documents. So the document release happened. Trump's name is in there. But there is no smoking gun, no devastating revelation, just information that was mostly already public. Second, Trump's first-term records. When a president leaves office, their records become subject to public records requests after a certain period. Trump left office years ago, and on a specific date, his first-term records became eligible for these requests. That means journalists, researchers, and advocacy groups can submit requests to get access to documents from Trump's first term, and some groups have done that. They have requested documents related to executive orders, policy decisions, internal communications, and other matters. One example involves lawsuits over Trump's executive orders targeting certain organizations. Groups sued to get access to documents about how those executive orders were developed and implemented, and the administration dropped some of those appeals. So there has been some back and forth about these requests for first-term records, but again, nothing bombshell has emerged. It is just routine government transparency stuff. So across the board, the document releases that have happened have not produced any devastating revelations that would cause Trump to collapse. The files contain mostly information that was already public. The first-term records are just routine government documents that are now eligible for requests. Third, let us talk about Trump's current status because the claim is that Trump has collapsed. But Trump is very much active and functioning. He has been pushing hard for his legislative priority. That is his voter ID legislation. He has been making public statements about it, pressuring Congress to pass it, making it a centerpiece of his agenda. He has been managing ongoing military actions. The operation launched weeks ago. American service members have been killed, and Trump has been defending the operation, claiming victory, managing the political fallout. So Trump is fully engaged in governing. He is not collapsed. He is not hiding. He is actively pushing his agenda and managing crises. Fourth, Trump's legal status. Trump is dealing with many active administrative law cases challenging his policies. These are civil cases about whether his executive orders and regulations are legal. Trump is winning about half of those cases and losing about half. So it is a mixed bag. But these are all civil cases. They do not threaten Trump with arrest or imprisonment. They are just policy disputes. And Trump's criminal cases are all resolved. The New York case ended with no jail time. The federal cases were dismissed. The Georgia case was dropped. So Trump has no active criminal prosecutions, and the document releases have not created new criminal jeopardy for him. Trump's legal status is stable. He is not facing arrest. He is not collapsing under legal pressure. He is just dealing with routine civil litigation about his policies. Let us go through what actually happened with these document releases in more detail to understand why the claim that Trump collapsed is false. First, the document release law. Congress passed this law requiring the DOJ to release documents related to a specific investigation. Trump signed the law, and on a specific date, the DOJ complied by releasing millions of pages of documents and thousands of videos. This is one of the largest document dumps in recent history. The files include investigative records, witness interviews, flight logs, photographs, and other materials. And Trump's name appears throughout the files. There are references to him attending parties at certain properties. There are flight logs showing he flew on a particular plane. And there are witness statements mentioning his friendship with the central figure. But here is the critical context. None of this is new information. Trump's friendship with that individual in the 1990s and early 2000s has been public knowledge for years. Trump has admitted he knew him and socialized with him. Trump has also said he cut ties after his behavior became clear. And Trump has denied any involvement in or knowledge of his crimes. So the files confirm what was already public. Trump and that individual were acquaintances at one point, but they do not reveal any bombshell new information that would create criminal jeopardy for Trump. Now, there are certain pages in the files that contain alleged unverified misconduct involving Trump. These are allegations that were made during the investigation but were never proven or verified. The allegations were investigated and ultimately not pursued, and the Attorney General reviewed these pages and concluded there was no credible evidence of criminal wrongdoing by Trump. So she cleared Trump. She said the allegations in those pages were unsubstantiated and did not warrant further investigation or prosecution. Critics argue that the Attorney General is biased because she works for Trump, and they say her clearance of Trump is not credible. That is a fair criticism. But the legal reality is that the DOJ reviewed the allegations and determined they did not meet the standard for prosecution. So as far as the official legal process goes, Trump was cleared. And shortly after the release, a judge blocked further congressional attempts to push for more documents. Some members of Congress wanted the DOJ to release additional materials beyond what was in the initial document dump. But a judge ruled that the DOJ had complied with the law and did not have to release more. So this document saga is largely over. The documents were released. Trump's name is in them. But there is no smoking gun, no devastating revelation, and Trump has not collapsed over it. Second, Trump's first-term records becoming eligible for public requests. Under the Presidential Records Act, a president's records become subject to public requests a certain number of years after they leave office. Trump left office years ago, so on a specific date, his first-term records became eligible. That means anyone can submit requests to the National Archives asking for specific documents from Trump's first term. Journalists, advocacy groups, and researchers have been submitting requests. They are asking for documents related to policy decisions, executive orders, internal deliberations, and communications, and the National Archives has been processing those requests and releasing documents. One area of focus has been Trump's executive orders targeting certain organizations. Trump issued orders trying to regulate these groups and restrict certain practices. Organizations sued arguing the orders were unconstitutional, and groups have submitted requests asking for documents about how those executive orders were developed. The DOJ has been fighting some of those requests, arguing that certain documents are protected by executive privilege or attorney-client privilege. But on a specific date, the administration dropped some of those appeals. They decided not to fight certain requests anymore, so some documents have been released. But again, nothing bombshell has emerged. The documents show the internal discussions and legal analyses that went into developing the executive orders, but they do not reveal any criminal wrongdoing or devastating information about Trump. It is just routine government transparency. As more requests are processed and more documents are released, it is possible something significant could emerge. But as of now, nothing has. The first-term records that have been released so far are just standard government documents showing how policy decisions were made. Third, let us talk about Trump's current activity level because the claim is that he collapsed. But Trump has been very active. He has been pushing hard for his legislative priority. This is his signature voter ID legislation that would require proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections. Trump has been making public statements about the bill. He has been pressuring Congress to pass it. He has been making it a centerpiece of his legislative agenda. Trump has gotten frustrated with the pace. The House leader delayed action so amendments could be added, and Trump posted on social media expressing his impatience. So Trump is actively engaged in pushing the bill forward. He is not collapsed. He is working on his priorities. Trump has also been managing ongoing military actions. The operation started weeks ago with massive strikes against military targets. American service members have been killed in retaliatory strikes, and the operation is deeply unpopular with the American public. Trump's approval rating is low, so politically, Trump is struggling. But he is not collapsed. He has been making public statements defending the operation. He outlined objectives. At a rally, he said the operation is ahead of schedule, and he declared victory. So Trump is actively managing the situation and defending it publicly. He is not hiding or collapsing. He is fighting politically to sell the operation as a success. Fourth, Trump's legal situation. Trump is dealing with many active civil administrative law cases challenging his policies. These cases are about whether his executive orders and regulations comply with federal law and the Constitution. Trump is winning about half of these cases and losing about half. So it is a mixed record. But these are all civil cases. They do not threaten Trump with arrest or imprisonment. When Trump loses, the consequence is that a policy gets blocked or modified, but he does not face criminal penalties. And Trump's criminal cases are all resolved. The New York case ended with no jail time. The federal cases were dismissed. The Georgia case was dropped. So Trump has no active criminal prosecutions. And the document releases have not created new criminal jeopardy. They have just provided more public information about Trump's past associations and policy decisions. Fifth, let us talk about the videos claiming Trump collapsed. Where are these coming from? They are probably recycling old claims and old footage and presenting them as if they are current. There were videos claiming Trump was going to collapse when the documents were first released. And now, weeks later, those videos are being recirculated as if the collapse is happening now. Or the videos are taking Trump's political struggles, his low approval rating, the unpopular operation, the stalled legislation, and exaggerating them into a narrative about Trump collapsing. But struggling politically is not the same as collapsing. Trump is dealing with serious political problems. But he is still functioning. He is still governing. He is still pushing his agenda. So the videos are creating a false narrative by taking real political challenges and spinning them into claims about Trump collapsing due to devastating files. Let us break this down into the key points. The document release law yielded millions of pages and thousands of videos released on a specific date with Trump mentioned, but no bombshell personal criminal revelations. The documents were released as required by law. Trump's name appears throughout. But the information is mostly stuff that was already public. The files contain some allegations against Trump, but those allegations are unverified and were cleared by the Attorney General. So the document release did not produce any bombshell that would create new criminal jeopardy for Trump. Certain pages alleged unverified misconduct, but were cleared by the Attorney General with a judge blocking further congressional document pushes. There are pages that contain allegations against Trump, but those allegations were investigated and not substantiated. The Attorney General reviewed them and said there is no credible evidence of criminal wrongdoing. Legally, the DOJ cleared Trump and a judge blocked Congress from pushing for more documents. So the story is largely over. Trump's first-term records became eligible for public requests on a specific date with routine lawsuits over executive orders and appeals dropped. Trump's first-term records are now available through public requests. Some groups have requested documents about Trump's executive orders. The DOJ has been fighting some of those requests. But the administration dropped some appeals and decided not to fight certain requests anymore. Some documents have been released, but nothing bombshell has emerged. It is routine government transparency. Trump remains active on his legislative priority and managing ongoing military actions with no health or legal collapse, despite videos recycling old claims. The claim is that Trump collapsed. But Trump is very much active. He is pushing his legislation. He is managing the operation. He is defending his policies. He is making public statements. Trump has not collapsed. He is dealing with political challenges. His approval rating is low. The operation is unpopular. But struggling politically is not the same as collapsing. Trump has many active administrative suits with a roughly equal win-loss record, and all criminal cases remain resolved with the New York case ending with no jail time. Trump's legal situation is stable. He is dealing with civil lawsuits about his policies. Some he wins, some he loses. But those are all civil cases that do not threaten him with arrest. His criminal cases are all resolved. The document releases have not created new criminal jeopardy. The broader political context matters here. Trump is in a politically weak position. His approval rating is low. The military operation is deeply unpopular. American service members have died. His legislative priority is stalled. Democrats are optimistic about flipping the House in the next elections. So Trump has real political problems. And people who oppose Trump want to believe those political problems are translating into legal jeopardy. They want to see Trump arrested or forced to resign. So when videos claim Trump collapsed due to devastating files, those videos tap into that desire. They give people what they want to hear. But the reality is that Trump's political problems are not translating into legal collapse. The document releases have not produced bombshells. Trump is not facing new criminal charges. And he is still actively governing despite his low approval ratings. The videos claiming Trump collapsed are preying on people's desires to see Trump held accountable. But they are not based on facts. They are based on wishful thinking and exaggeration. Trump has not collapsed due to devastating files. The document release yielded millions of pages released with Trump mentioned but no bombshell revelations. Certain pages alleged unverified misconduct but were cleared with a judge blocking further pushes. Trump's first-term records became eligible with routine lawsuits over executive orders. Trump remains active on his legislative priority and managing ongoing operations with no collapse despite videos recycling old claims. Trump has many active administrative suits with a roughly equal win-loss record while all criminal cases remain resolved. The claims about Trump collapsing due to devastating files are exaggerations of routine document releases that have not produced any game-changing exposures.